All right, so now we have Jeremiah and Isaiah Godby joining us. And the first thing that comes to mind, we see people honor these victims in many ways. Why did you choose to honor the victims this way?
Well, this is something that we've done before. We've ran across the country and we've done a couple other long runs for good causes, for prevention, for fitness, nutrition. Um, and for this time, this is something that since we've done before, we thought that this is the best way that we can be able to help out. Just in terms of the steps that we take, every step, every mile, running, walking 30 to 40 miles per day until we get to Washington D.C.
Sometimes drastic times.
Describe the sometimes what?
Sometimes drastic times call for drastic measures.
So let's talk about that. Explain that moment. What was going on? What were you guys doing when we were like, hey, you know what? Let's do this.
I mean, just when we found out about the news that happened on Valentine's Day, we were at work, both of us, and just broke our hearts just listening to one more person, and then 10 and 12, and the number just kept going up, and there's nothing that we could do about it. And as the days went on, and by the time a week had rolled around to the next Wednesday, we heard about the students being out there talking to DC, being at the CNN town hall meeting. And they were just so articulate and so poised to want to make a change happen. They just felt that these things keep happening over and over again, and they didn't expect this to happen in their school, but it did. And they just don't want this to see this happen again. And we just felt that we could be another voice for them. We felt that we could be another motivation for them. And they motivated us to come all the way here from California and drop everything so that we can be together and try to hope for some change.
So when you say drop everything, what all did you guys have to drop? How quick of a change was this for you guys in your normal day lives?
I mean, very different. I mean, we had to ask our our parents, our managers to basically take a month off, and we had to basically quit work and just drop everything. Drop our friends, everything.
I mean, we had plans to go for a spring break, and all those things that, in hindsight doesn't matter. All the reasons why we should not go just did not add up for the reasons why we should go and why we needed to go. And even though we hadn't trained and it's been a few years since our last run, I haven't walked or ran more than 5 miles in one day for a long time. We just felt compelled that we needed to be here physically in person because we knew so many of our other friends and family members who have kids and so many other responsibilities. It was even harder for them to be able to do something like this. And so for them, for our family, for us, we felt the need that we had to be here and do this thing.
Especially for when the kids are going to go back to school on Wednesday, we can hopefully be another voice for them because they may not be talking as much. So hopefully we can be another voice to them for them as we continue to March 24th.
That's a great point. And you were mentioning about you guys doing things like this in the past, the running aspect of things. How prepared were you guys for this?
For the other events, we've taken months. For our run across the United States that happened 6 years ago, we took about for the 4-month journey, we took about 2 years to prepare everything so that we had places to stay and we had events going on and we had the proper training for this and the nutrition and the diet and everything. But this one, it was just from Wednesday night to sleeping on it and Thursday telling our folks and then talking to our managers. And by Friday night, 48 hours later, we happened to be on our local news talking about our journey. And Saturday we packed up. Sunday we flew out here. We got here last night. And today we spent time this morning visiting the school, the high school, even the middle school, leaving a few things for them, but really just paying our respects and honoring them and making sure that we and everyone else never forgets what happened.
And man, we knew that we would run, walk, maybe even crawl, bike, whatever it takes. But we just knew that we had to be here, and we would just, try to use mental strength, whatever it took. We needed to be here. Try to do it.
How old are you two guys?
I'm 24.
And I'm 27.
When you look at, you guys are two 20-year-olds who basically still at the beginning of their lives, and you're not even in your 30s or 40s. What does this say about, or what's the message that you want to get across to all the youngsters, the people who are in high school or the people who want to try to give back in some way? What message did you want to put out?
Well, we just want to tell those kids that what they're doing, what they're talking about and just using, kind of sometimes this anger, this deep sadness, just using that to be able to focus and channel that energy and to create something positive that can last forever and that can really make a drastic change. I think that they need to keep going, keep doing what they're doing. We strongly, strongly believe in them. We think that this is something that finally can make a difference.
And this is why we're here. They inspired us, and then hopefully we can inspire other people, and just keep the inspiration going and the momentum going.
Have you guys looked at as far as in the total distance, like how many miles this will take?
Yeah, we put in a walking route from the school to Washington D.C., and it's going to be over 1,000 miles, about 1,060 miles in total. And so, if we hope to get there by March 24th, so we can be there for our lives to join everyone else, then we are expected to run close to run close to 40 miles per day.
See, and I look at 40 miles a day. That's a lot of miles per day. Put in perspective how difficult this is for anybody to do, to run, walk, whatever it is, but on foot, 40 miles a day.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a symbolic message, to those people out there that they just need to keep moving forward. We can't move backwards about what happened. Those people who died, the victims who died, they're not coming back. But we can still move forward in this so that we can prevent something like this happening again, so that we can stop sending our thoughts and our prayers and actually make a difference. And just by taking every step and every mile that we go and each day, no matter how tough it is, no matter if we have to, walk, run, crawl, like my brother said, we're going to do everything just to keep moving forward. We took a lot of what Dr. Martin Luther King said about nonviolence and marching and standing up for what you believe in and protesting. And he said that you have to keep moving forward. And so just by that, we've taken that and put it to use in terms of what we do best. And that's putting one foot in front of the other.
This run is not about divisiveness. It's about unity and passion.
So one final thing will be is, what do you feel like that moment's going to be like when you guys get here to Washington, D.C.? What's that moment you feel like is going to, what do you feel like that moment's going to be like when you get here to Washington, D.C.?
I mean, just being here has already been so emotional. You probably already hear my voice. I was laying down a California towel that we had. It was a flag of California with a bear and everything on it. And it was a towel that we left and wrote some words on it. And as we were laying it down, we were able to speak to one of the grandparents of one of the friends of the kids who goes to school here. And she was crying and she was laying down her flowers. And we told her about our trip because she asked us what the flag was for. And she started tearing up. And, we just want to be able to do whatever it is to keep this conversation going, to keep the students, pushing forward. And, for everyone, for all the support systems, for those victims, the family, the friends, the entire community of Parkland and Florida, we just want them to know that we're not going to forget this. And we're going to use what happened as motivation to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Jeremiah, what do you feel like the moment's going to be like when you get here to D.C.?
So emotional, similar like today, just very emotional, and also exciting at the same time. I mean, we're going to be there for a reason. I'm not sure the exact number that's going to be there, but a lot of people are going to be there, and yeah, just very emotional. I don't even know what to expect.
Well, I wish you guys luck. It's going to be a long journey, 40 miles a day, but that date, March 24th, is when you guys expect to be here in Washington, D.C. Of course, you're doing it for a great cause, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you really appreciate it.